What's happening, financial coaches? It's Pete here. Hey, I want to talk to you today about selling your services as a financial coach and why it is super easy. And if you're finding it to be anything other than easy, I want to kind of flip the script on you and think about how much you really believe in financial coaching, right? Selling is actually really easy. And that's that might sound like a pretty bold statement considering there are a lot of people that struggle with sales. I've been in a lot of industries where people wash out 80%, 90% in the first year, sometimes in the first few months, sometimes in the first few weeks. I started in insurance sales, and I've seen people come in there and then after a couple of weeks just bail. So it's not something that when I say easy, it means that anyone can do it and everyone can do it. What I'm saying is that they are easy when you are strongly convinced that the product or service you're selling is everything that you think it should be, and it is available at a great price. And what I mean by this is that you are selling all the time. Everyone is. If you interact with anyone, you are making a sales pitch in some regards. Now, specifically when it comes to spending money, I think we do this all the time. So I would think of a few examples here. So we were hanging out with some people, and I saw someone talking about why they switched to Hulu. They loved all the streaming television services. They loved all the archives. They loved the idea that there is this baseball channel, the marquee channel available, and they were just pitching it. Hulu wasn't their employer. Hulu wasn't giving them a commission on it. They were just convinced that Hulu was a great service at a great price. And so they were selling it to someone. They were strongly encouraging them. They were saying, go out and just sign up for it. Right. And again, there's no compensation there. You would think that if I threw compensation on there, the push would even get stronger because now there's this other influence on me, right? There's this other external force that wants me to want to sell it, right? And so we do this all the time, whether it's your favorite pair of jeans or for me, like this Arctic mug is great. I recommend these to a lot of people. They're $10. It's 30 ounces. They keep your drinks hot or cold. I think they're a great value. Arctic pays me nothing for that. I wish they did. I wish they would send me free products, but it's one of those things where if you really like something, you're convinced that it has great value. And on top of that, the price point is totally justifiable. We advocate for things all the time. And yet, some people find it hard to say, hey, you have to hire me as a financial coach, or you even should hire me as a financial coach. And most people get to this point where they say, if you think that's something that would be valuable to you, you could hire me as a financial coach, right? So where's all this passion? Where's all this gusto that we have when we are pitching other people's products? And the reality is, I don't think you believe in it, right? So for me, when people start asking me about financial questions, and a buddy of mine was over and we were just talking about interest amount optimization, how we can control how much interest we pay on loans. And one of the things that I've spent the last couple of years really on is really getting a hold of this, getting my a handle on how interest is calculated and what we can do to optimize around it. And I've shared this with some people, and some people get it. My buddy Bjorn is now a believer in kind of these strategies because he is seeing the value on it. But I also pitch it very hard to people because I think it can be super powerful. Now, that doesn't mean that I tell people that they absolutely have to use it, because I can tell through the conversation if they're not getting there, or if I start to detect on some behavioral things that mean it might be problematic for them, right? I'll kind of back off on it, right? I'm trying to make sure that my recommendations are suitable, that my suggestions are right for those particular people, and they're not right for everyone. But I'm really excited about it. I'm passionate about it. And if people ask me, hey, aren't you doing something, like, aren't you paying your mortgage off early? Or, you don't have any other debt or whatever it might be, I'm happy to go into it because I love it. And I want to tell people, the things that I know work, right? And so I have a lot of passion about it. And you can see my eyes light up. And I'm trying to say, what we say is that when we can tell when people have passion. And what I think most people try to do is they try to fake that passion, right? Oh yeah, I'm a financial coach. I've just been pouring myself into some of these books. I really, really love it. And you'll know if it really is or isn't, right? You'll know what really kind of pushes your buttons. There are probably things where you don't have to think about it like, oh, this is my profession. I want to look really excited. I want to feel and create that energy. What you want to do is figure out what are the moments that people can bring up things to you and you just want to sink your teeth into them. And I'm not sure that they all make business sense, but it can be anything from, I've heard people talking about the Gilmore Girls Netflix reboot, with such passion that they should have been hired as like a marketing a person for the show. I've heard people talking about a new car that's come out and how much they love it, or the iPod. There are fans for all sorts of things, and those companies don't necessarily pay them anything, compensate them in any way. Yet these people are really sold on the product or service that is out there, and so they are advocates for it. If you're not your own advocate for the role of financial coach, what I would say is that I think you should again look inside yourself and say, is this really for me? If I am not saying that, yes, you should connect with me and $100, I am happy to take it from you. I'm happy to charge you for it because I know it's a great value. In fact, one of the things that I was talking to my buddy about, with the interest rate discussion, is he's like, we should put together some resources here and we should charge some money. And I said, yeah, absolutely. I would charge a couple $100. And he said, I would charge a couple $1,000, knowing that people are going to save themselves 50, 60, 70, $100,000 over the course of the work. Right. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. I know that he knows that people can save crazy amounts of money by optimizing around the math. And yet, um, you know, and that leaves us in a position where, if I were to charge someone and take someone's $200, knowing that they're going to save $50,000, or if I'm going to take $1,000 from someone, knowing they're going to save $100,000, right? I have no qualms about that. I know they are getting returns, far beyond what I'm charging them. But if you're having trouble saying, "Hey, yes, you should hire me. Give me $100. Let me send you the invoice. Just pay it," knowing that, hey, it is worth way more than that. It is worth far beyond that. And if you're not convinced and you're reluctant to say it, and it's hard for you to say it, or if you're getting that pay, you're getting compensated, you're getting that invoice paid, and you're saying, I'm not sure that I provided that value. I want to do some other things. I want to develop some resources. I'm going to send them a couple extra emails with some more ideas, just to try to add on the value. Then the problem is, how can your clients believe it's a good value if you don't believe it's a good value, right? So, is coaching giving you trouble? Is that financial coaching role that you have giving you trouble in selling it and charging for it and feeling good about what you're charging? Is the passion that you are expressing to people, your prospects, is it faked? And it doesn't have to be overt. You might really believe in this, but maybe you just don't believe in yourself enough, or believe in yourself or the role enough, or comparatively or relatively to other things that you should be doing. So, in some cases, I think, you might be better off. For me, I like golf, so I wouldn't mind working in a golf store. Any role I've ever taken in my life, I have really believed that it is something that's very valuable to people. It's something that I'm excited about. I've had the flexibility to be able to take any job without having to worry about how much it compensates, and that's allowed me to really kind of pour myself into the job for the job. And so, one of the things that I'll just ask you is, hey, are you doing this because you really believe in it, or do you have your own hiccups about it? Do you have your own reservations about it? Do you have your own concerns about it? Because those are going to bleed through in everything that you do. So if you do, maybe look for something else. And if you do, but it's more just about you getting over the hump, getting past the imposter syndrome, then there are some other ideas that you can do to get beyond that. But really look at that and say, hey, am I being an advocate for myself? That's it. That's my thought for today. See you later.